Hello everyone, I am Renown Zero, and we are back again talking about some more Rippaverse detractors. Our usual suspects will be, of course, Buster Baxter, aka Dick Masterson. We got a little small update from actual fandom, as I will continue to update people on the ever-growing Alphacore #1 campaign. As of the recording of this video, currently sitting at 739k, looking at 4,164 cover A's sold, 2,666 cover B's sold, 2,691 cover C's sold, 2,907 cover D sold. Cover C, of course, has only 5,000 that are going to be made. Foil and embossed cost half the price of the foil cover from ISO #2 because, of course, getting printing deals and things like that will, of course, lower the cost of these comics. You can pick up your comics, of course, your posters, your hats, sweatshirts, shirts, hoodies, first appearance pack, so you get ISOM 1 and Alphacore 1. You can get all 4 covers here. You can get the ISOM 1, ISOM 2, and Alphacore 1 in a bundle. Get your signed cover A's, cover B's, cover D's, cover C is unfortunately sold out. You can get your read and collect them all, merch pack, etc., etc. We've got 2 of our benchmarks completed with the Yaira #1 cover A revealed. The Gooding Polymath cover A reveal. So far, they've shown off the Yaira #1 cover, which is this right here. It looks fantastic. Written by the Saska sisters and penciled by Deborah Carita. It's going to look so great to get this. Cannot wait to get this book. Okay, moving on over to Blade Devil 2, Chains of Blood, currently sitting at 144k with 1,538 backers. You can go ahead and get this book. I highly recommend this one. I've read Blade Devil 1. It's fantastic storyline, fantastic artwork. You'll see it right here for book 2. You'll get 69 pages of story. You'll get 2 supplemental stories, of course. And you have multiple covers to choose from, which will be cover A, cover B, cover C, limited summer wraparound cover. That one's a little bit more. Very limited. Get different trading cards for each cover you back. And you get this one for signing up for the pre-launch and backing any basic perk. Now I've got all my covers. I'm good to go. Since Blade Devil 1 sold me on this comic series, I'm more than happy to spend my hard-earned money on all the covers. Of course, you can get mouse pads, your waifu pillows, and of course you get your art prints and foil covers because the stretch goals were made for 75,000 and 100,000. You can also back Blade Devil 1 if you missed out on the first campaign for this book. It's right here. $10 for your battle damage copies. If you don't really care too much about the condition of your book and you just want to read a great story, you can go ahead and get it here. Also, back Joe Ball, created Death, Death, Death. It's a 300-page graphic novel where you can get your manga edition for the people who love to read manga. $18 for 300 pages of story. $30 for line art. $45 for color. Now, I saw something very interesting when I made my last video about the Alphacore #1 launch. Of course, I had someone clearly wanted to be on their bot account. And of course, my usual haters like this guy. Oh, because I said farm crew and I don't really care too much about a minor character's name because I mentioned a farm crew, but you failed to show where I made an error besides the name, right? Of course, you have people who want to spew nonsense and like I am a grift, always falling for grift. Where's the grift, bro? I'm still waiting for someone to explain to me where the grift is. I purchased a product. I received my product. Please tell me where's the grift. It would be great if you would actually come on your real account rather than using a alt account like a whole coward, right? And say all this nonsense on here, but you won't. Now, until such a point comes where you can actually do that, I refuse to let you even comment on my stuff because I don't really care. I said a couple of things, of course, but in the end, people like this don't really bother me. All you're really doing is interacting in my videos, making my videos more popular, pushing them through the algorithm, which is what these weirdos fail to realize when it comes to making comments on my videos. They make quite a few comments. I'll eventually get rid of them. we'll have to see what happens. Moving on over to Rippaverse goalposts, we got plenty of stuff to talk about from here. We got SJW Captain America, who says, also reminded that the main character of Eric July, Tuck Dixon, and Joe Bennett's book is an evil Superman sectionist. He's supposed to be the quote good guy. Just in case you ever forgot, Eric is a libertarian clown and inserting politics into comics like they decried before. Why? Because he was a veteran of the Great War of Separation? How is that politics, you idiot? We're talking about real world politics, not fake politics. You absolute moron. Alphacore leader Brian Solari is an evil Superman secessionist, according to Detractor, SJW Captain America. Yeah, he's been around for quite a bit. He's just going to continue to cope, as he will. Moving on over to Joe Winter here. He says, lol, I can remember when Chuck Dixon was writing multiple books a month that was selling tens of thousands of copies minimum each. What an absolutely pathetic career trajectory that dude has had. Tens of thousands of copies, you say? I wonder if you weirdos can do basic math. So just by looking at these numbers here, I'm just going to do a quick refresh. We'll do it live, right? Judging by the numbers, just by doing quick math, this is over 10,000 copies. It's probably somewhere closer to 12,000 copies or more. So I'm pretty sure that's in the range of tens of thousands. But I'm sure it'll get up there closer, higher than 20, 30, maybe even $40,000 copy range. Considering it's only a day and a half since the campaign's been live and it's already at 12,000 plus copies is actually very good. So for you to sit up here and say tens of thousands of copies minimum, well, it's over 10,000 copies. It's actually closer to 12,000. So cope and seethe all you want, because that's what y'all be doing. Hell, they're blocking you immediately. They are in a fragile emotional state right now. Too much emotional damage for them. Moving on to more Alphacore cope from Rippaverse Detractors. Only around 2,800 purchases, though. Nowhere near the phenomenon you expected. So this was when it was at 400K. Like I said, it's at 739K when it's only been a day and a half. Of course, Josh Friedmaster always coping all the time. An average of $142 per person. Maybe it is a cult. It's not a cult. Y'all are in the cult. It's always the people who want to throw that at other people who are actually in the cult. Anything under 2 million is a failure, even if they say otherwise. Just watch that the numbers may mean something to them, but when it's released, it'll be god awful. Again, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, and they're all full of shit. Most of y'all are full of shit, so nobody should take y'all serious. Y'all watch these campaigns like the hawks y'all are. Meanwhile, y'all forget to mention the fact that the books still continue to sell even after the campaigns end. So nothing y'all say really means anything. I'm going to guess that Alphacore number 1 will be around $1.5 million by the campaign's end, which will be diminishing returns once again. Considering it's a number 1, I think it'll make more than that, and it's Chuck Dixon. I think it'll be less. People are turned off by his apparent $99 a month scam. It's not a scam, but okay. And the desire to make merch a limited release to negate the purpose of that quote discount just tips this into being a large failure. If it reaches $1 million, it'll be from mysterious angel investors. The investors being the customers, the fans of Eric July, the fans of Rippaverse. I know you want to sit here and try to hide it, like you want to say Glenn Beck, like the rest of you weirdos do. Y'all want to say The Blaze and Glenn Beck and Fox News, by the way, just drink water with all the times I just said that. But you want to hide the fact that you want to say that because you know you want to say it so bad, even though you know it's not true. Because this is the type of goalpost shift that y'all have been crying about for almost 2 years now. Only way that happens is if Eric manages to get Blaze to give him even more money for Astro 2 for... Well, there it is. I just said it too. I just said someone was going to bring it up, and they did exactly what I said they were going to do. It's very weird how they continue to do that. Oh boy, here comes the BS. Shout out to LG. Follow him on Twitter and YouTube. So where was all this enthusiasm for Tim Sheridan's gay Green Lantern? Instead of crying about the Rippaverse, why aren't they throwing their money at Tim Sheridan? Because they don't actually care about comics. They just like and retweet stuff all day long and say yes, do it, yes, but then they don't actually have any money to buy campaigns or pay for comics. 600K in one day, failure. 10K in an entire campaign, success. Man, maths have utterly changed nowadays compared to my high school days 35 years ago. There we go. We got Bruce, one of the ballers. Do they know how much praise it actually is to claim anything under 2 mil is a failure? It's also not diminishing returns. Alphacore is number one. The market is being established for this book on this campaign. Exactly. Exactly. Moving on to the next one. This person is absolutely out of their mind. I had a conversation with this person a couple days ago. They're very much unhinged. More proof the numbers are fake, and Garrick's ego wouldn't allow him to make it seem like Chuck could outsell him. He owns the website. He decides the numbers. That's not how this works, by the way. He's been transparent about this from the start. So, you're an idiot. Eric's ego wouldn't allow him to make it seem like Chuck could outsell him. He owns the website and he decides the numbers. So Eric is intentionally displaying small numbers on the Alphacore campaign to protect his ego and ice some success. Conspiracy theories. These people just get more and more unhinged every single day. Got Chloe saying, I'm confused. Is the accusation that Eric faked sales over a year ago to protect his ego from a Dixon success before Dixon was even signed on? Or is it that Alphacore is doing better numbers than what Eric was showing? Let me visualize myself as a crackhead to answer your question. I think the theory is that Alphacore Day 1 did better than ISOM Day 1. No, it didn't. But Eric is showing us smaller Alphacore numbers to protect his ego. So the real Alphacore Day 1 sales is over 1 million. Yeah, that's basically kind of what they're saying. Got Professor Hayteen. That is, I was going to say, dumbest, but you have to be smart to be able to do mental gymnastics like this. So true. So true. Moving on over to the next person. Wow, it's sad that Chuck Dixon needed a quick buck to write an autistic man's self-insert fantasy about a dollar store Justice League. Where's the self-insert? And why is everyone always calling everybody autistic when they're not? Hater knows nothing about Alphacore and is calling it dollar store Justice League. Stay mad, loser. Cry salty tears. That's all. That's basically it, yeah. Let's just continue to cope and see. We got one of our favorites here. We got Puma Fist saying nothing new or exciting about Alphacore. Old regurgitated comic stuff. Nobody cares. My prediction for Alphacore is 1.6 million. Yeah, similar to every other person in the cult who said the exact same thing of 1.6 million. Yeah, it's funny how all of you have the exact same number. Right? It's kind of weird how y'all have the exact same number for your prediction. He's going to lose 700K between each campaign. Puma Fist will continue talking to that fence while Rippaverse climbs mountains. Greater success. I don't think there's going to be anywhere near diminishing returns, especially with Yaira. Yaira? Okay. I highly doubt it. I'll watch that campaign when it comes out as well, because I'll be getting that too. But let's listen to what Mr. Puma Fist has to say.
Or, just showing us something you already had in the comic book, not something new. As far as the Alphacore, man, doesn't it just look like the Justice League? Like the evil brooding Justice League? I mean, that what's her name, Valdez chick? That is just, she's got the lasso of truth. She's strong, right? She's fucking flying and shit. It's like fucking Wonder Woman. Zippity doodah. The fucking one dude, Ballsack or whatever his name is, I can't remember.
Braxwell? Braxwell?
These fucking names. I said this from ISOM number 1. The names that he picks for all these fucking characters are dumb. They're hard to fucking remember. So,
jeez, it's like 3 F-bombs in like 10 seconds. So people like this are why sometimes I can't even get full ads on these videos.
That dude, whatever his name is, Bollocks, I don't fucking know what it is. The dude who's supposed to be Superman. Yeah, he's just a Superman knockoff.
That's Brian Solari.
Right? And then the other dude, what's his name? Robert or something? Jesus fucking Christ.
Braxwell. Again, you're criticizing something you don't even know the names of things you're criticizing.
Did it start with a B? I can't remember. And I'm not even bothered to go look it up. The dude with the fucking...
So then why are you making a video complaining about this if you want to do no research? I understand you just want to put your opinion out there and it's fine, but at the same time, if you're going to put your opinion out there, at least bring some research.
He's got like the fucking visor or whatever. I don't even know what the fuck he's supposed to be. I don't know which one of the Justice League he's supposed to be, but I guess we'll find...
Well, clearly it's not the Justice League. You can't figure it out, even though it's literally not anything like the Justice League, but okay.
out in Alphacore #1. Well, anyway, Jesus. Nothing about this really looks exciting or fresh or new.
Okay, you can have that opinion. It's fine.
It's just old comic book shit regurgitated. Still, we're just dealing with the Eric July fanfare and hype. That's the only thing that's carrying this. If he wasn't attached, nobody would care. And really,
I'm pretty sure a lot of people care about Chuck Dixon writing it and Joe Bennett penciling it. It's, Eric July's name isn't even on the book itself.
I mean, nobody really does care. I mean, look at the slump that that Isom #2 hit with. That was a big drop.
$2.3 million. Again, there hasn't been another campaign that's been anywhere near that amount.
Off. That's why my prediction for Alphacore is 1.6. I'm going like basically he's going to lose 700,000 between each one. So that's why I came up with the figure of 1.6.
Okay, you didn't come up with that. You probably just stole that number from somewhere else. Astro Zombie brings it up perfectly in this statement. Jesus Christ. Anyways, nervous laughter. Jesus, cracking voice. He's about to cry. My God, dude, this guy is so weird. Weirdo nerd on a message board forum lies. The first thing woke quote fans do is determine what the political positions of writers as artists hold, which they usually fail at, and ultimately end up reaching false conclusions. The story and art are secondary to them. That's definitely not the case. Joe Bennett's a good artist, but his sneaky anti-Semitism stuff from Hulk was awful. Dixon's unfortunately fallen down the backside of Republicans, but he's never presented himself publicly as a bigot. Joe Bennett has, though. I mean, I was never gonna read this anyway, but still, then shut the hell up. First of all, why are you on a gaming website to complain about a comic book? You weirdo. An irrelevant gaming site at that. First, they complain that Rippaverse doesn't put out enough books, and now they're saying Rippaverse is trying to rush its success to compete with Marvel and DC, never have, and Eric July should be, quote, establishing the fundamentals, classic goalpost movements. Why is this guy trying to launch himself into building out a comic book franchise before establishing the fundamentals? Is he stupid? Well, obviously smarter than you because he's making the millions and you're not. If you're so smart, why don't you make your own book? Why don't you see if you can make a couple millions? I'm pretty sure you could, though. I think it's just the same thing with the DCEU. He's biting off more than he can chew. But the DCEU try to rush its success to compete with the MCU because DC is stupid, and no, he's not trying to compete with at least not the current MCU. That's absolute garbage. The Rippaverse is trying to rush to success to compete with Marvel and DC, and no, they're not. They're taking their sweet time, writing the books, inking the books, coloring the books, getting the books ready, by the way, having the books done before pre-order campaigns start. Not like other crowdfunds who take years to fulfill, and you wonder why y'all get called actual scams, because y'all take years to make books after taking people's money, right? It took me 2 years to get Cyberfrog 2, and I had Cyberfrog 2 pre-ordered prior to any beef between Eric and Ethan. Still waiting for books 2 years from 2 years ago that I pre-ordered, or even from just people like John Malin, godlike. So at least I get a book on time. At least I get a book pretty quickly after my pre-order, considering that the fulfillment for this is on December 4th and it opened 2 days ago. So there's that. Moving on over to Buster Baxter, of course, because he always has to cope and see it on his own Twitter, saying, "Holy crap, they really can't say what their favorite part of ISOM was." You mean you missed all the parts where they actually said their favorite parts? Because I did quote this. I actually did quote this. Right? Of course, it's not showing here. But I did quote this, basically saying each person that has read the book already said what their favorite part of ISOM was. The fact that you keep making this like it's some kind of big issue, right? Meanwhile, nobody cares what book you have written. Nobody cares about Super Killer. Nobody cares about anything going on outside of what Eric is doing, apparently. Right? Of course, you have the typical rip-off verse. I'm watching it now. It's hilarious how much they're tongue-effing Eric. Ooh, they're promoting his book. Wow. Promoting his book means you're tongue-effing someone. Freaking weird. It always descends into some weirdo gay fantasy every single time. Gary, because he needs the same low IQ subscribers to buy his comic when it's out, and Az because he's a cuck. Bruh, you don't put anything out into the world besides being a hater, besides being jealous, besides being envious of other people who are more successful than you'll ever be. Because that's all you're going to be doing. Right? Pigs in chat for as a stream. Once a meth head, always a meth head. That's Gary, folks. Yeah. Definitely isn't a successful YouTuber with almost 900,000 subscribers. You're sitting up here with your blue check mark, not doing a dang thing. Your account should say purveyor of being a retard. And Alphacore isn't doing all that well either. Okay. So let's put Alphacore up next to other books, right? This one, as I just refreshed it, is at $743,000, right? I'm gonna ignore things like Blade Devil and Def, right? Because those are people that aren't hating on Eric, right? Those are people who are congratulating Eric and looking to his success and seeing what he's doing correct and implementing it into their own stuff. Super Killer isn't doing great. It's sitting at 78K. If you want to talk about a book that's not doing great, this one is not doing great. 78K, for as much as y'all sit here and cry about Eric's success and cry about what Eric is doing, y'all ain't even supporting this. This can't even break 6 figures. It's doing better than Dark Harvest, Cyberfrog Dark Harvest. It's doing better than Cyberfrog 3. Cyberfrog 3 has been up for at least 30 days. Meanwhile, Alphacore number 1 has only been up for a day and a half and is doing better than a book that's been out for more than 30 days. So who's really not being successful? Who's not really doing well compared to Alphacore 1? The people that y'all are supposed to be supporting, right? Meanwhile, none of you people got any money to support the people you claim that you like. Close it out with Actual Fandom, who says, if anyone needs a clear example of, quote, diminishing returns, just look at your YouTube channel, Actual Fandom, because your YouTube channel has huge diminishing returns because all you do is talk about Eric July negatively. And nobody cares. And you sit up there and you cry in your fetal position all day in your room as you watch the numbers constantly grow. But what it really says is just show them the campaigns by the failing, quote, Rippaverse. Yeah, because 3.8 and 2.3 and currently 743K, as I've showed that for a campaign that's only been up for a day and a half, is somehow failing. I bet Eric thought the QAnon guy would pull better numbers. Again, it's only a day and a half. And y'all are already coping. Y'all are already shifting goalposts. Y'all are already calling things a failure. Meanwhile, it's only been a day and a half. And none of you people could ever produce anything of quality like this. For as much as y'all like to cry about the comic book industry, and as much as y'all like to cry about other people's success, y'all ain't doing anything with y'all lives besides complaining and being miserable and being absolute losers. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button. Comment below what you feel about all this. If you are not subscribed, please do consider hitting the subscribe button today. There's a red button below the video. You could click. It costs you nothing. It makes it easier for you to find my videos. If you'd like to go above and beyond, become a member of the channel. There's a join button below the video. You can join for $1 a month. Or if you'd like to tip, the super thanks button is down there as well. Hit the bell for notifications when you subscribe. Set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video or live stream. And I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.